Hey Algebra 1, thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be looking at day 2 angle relationships, and we're specifically going to just look at how to solve for x in triangles and angles. You do get a worksheet handed out to you, so just make sure you have that before you get started on these notes. And there are 6 things that we're going to be trying today, so let's go ahead and get started. First few things I'm just going to ask you to watch. So for this one, we know that these two angles added together will be equal to 90 degrees. So we know 75 plus x equals 90, and to solve for x, I would just subtract 75 from both sides so that I know x is equal to 15. So pretty simple there. For the next one, again, I know that these two angles added together are making a straight angle, which are equal to 180. So x plus 47 equals 180. To find out what x is, I would just be subtracting 47 from 180, and I would get x is equal to 133. Okay. Sometimes it's going to look a little bit different. Again, these are, just remember from your vocabulary sheet that we did previously, these are corresponding angles, which means they're equal to one another. So 3x is equal to 90 because they are the same position, they're just in different areas of the angles. To solve for x, I would just be dividing both sides by 3 so that x is equal to 30. Okay, so you might need to use your corresponding notes or your vocabulary notes worksheet to help you. Again, here, these are also equivalent angles because these are alternate interior angles. And when we know that we have alternate interior, that also means they're equal. So 150 is equal to 5x. So when we're ready to solve, we just divide both sides by 5 so that x is equal to 30. Okay. Next up, we just have a different one that you're going to try. So this is the first one in your notes. Let's go ahead and pause here to see what you can do by yourself, and once you're done, click play. Alright, so we know that b plus 34 is equal to 90. So you're essentially just subtracting 34 from 90. So b is equal to 56. Again, in number 2, let's go ahead and try this one. You might need to look back at your notes to see what type of angle these are. Let's go ahead and pause so you can try this one by yourself, and then click play when you're ready to check. So before you started this one, you should have realized that these are vertical angles, and vertical angles are always equal, so b is equal to 44. Pretty simple. Number 3, again, let's go ahead and pause here. Note the relationship between these two angles, and once you're ready, click play to check your answer. These are alternate exterior angles, so I'm just going to put AEA, alternate exterior angles. So B is equal to 30 because they're in the same spot, just alternating. Here's number 4. This one's a little bit different because it has two angles that are there and then a missing piece. And notice that it's all the way around, so it's doing a full rotation. So just think about how many degrees are there. I would maybe even consider writing an equation first. Let's go ahead and pause for number 4, and once you're done, click play to check your work. So for this one, I know that b plus 36 plus 228 will give me 360. The first thing I'm going to do is add 228 and 36 together. So that'll give me b plus 264 is equal to 360. And then last but not least, I'm just going to subtract this 264 from 360. So I will get b is equal to 96. Okay. So just as a review, before we look at the last two questions on your notes for today, all triangles have to have 180 degrees. So just keep that in mind as we're doing these last two questions. So for this one, let's go ahead and find number 5's answer for a measure of angle B. So let's pause here for number 5, and once you're done, click play to check your work. So first thing I did is I just added the 28 and the 68, and that gives me 96. I know 96 plus B is equal to 180. And then I'm going to subtract 96 from 180, so I get B is equal to 84. Okay. This last one here it looks a little different. What I would suggest is to write an equation. So let's pause and write an equation because you have a few different things going on. Once you're done writing the equation, then solve for your x, okay? All right, so you've already written your equation and then solved it, so let's see what our equation should look like. So here's my equation put together. I did 6x minus 11 plus 96 plus 29 equals 180. The next thing I'm going to do is put together my like terms. I know that I can put together 96 and 29. That gives me 125, but then I have to do a minus 11, which will give me 114. So I have 6x plus 114 is equal to 180. To get x by itself, I'm going to subtract 114 from both sides. That is going to give me 6x equals 66. And when I divide both sides by 6, x will be equal to 11. So it is important to write an equation for some of these. You're going to see those multiple times on your worksheet tonight for homework, so just make sure you're paying close attention there. And that is going to conclude our notes for today. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.